Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has traveled to France on a jet that was seized by a French court for a Chinese firm just days ago.
Nigerian presidency obtains a corporate A330-200 to replace BBJ. Nigerian president has traveled to France on an Airbus A330-200 business jet, which the country has acquired to upgrade its government transport. President Bola Tinubu flew from Abuja to Nice on 19th August on board the aircraft. The A330, a Rolls-Royce Trent 700 powered airframe registered 5N-FGA, was originally delivered in 2009 to Saudi Arabia company Wide EasyJet.
The executive, the president, the presidency, the National Assembly, I think they are decided that they are the bandits. They are the bandits, all of them. The political class has decided that they are the bandits against the people of Nigeria.
Special advisor to Tinubu, Bayo Anonuga, says the A330 has been acquired far below the market price.
Presidential Airbus A330, which was among the three seized Nigerian aircraft by the French Judicial Court. As per reports, Tinubu flew to France on Monday on the newly acquired presidential Airbus A330, which was among the three seized Nigerian aircraft by the French Judicial Court. The jets were confiscated last week amid an ongoing legal battle between a Chinese company and the Nigerian government.
Anonuga says the A330 has been acquired far below the market price, featuring modern avionics and communication systems, and will save on maintenance and fuel costs. Chief Bayo Ononuga says Nigerian parliamentary committees had recommended replacing the BBJ-1 with number 5N-FGT, which was handed over to the government in 2005 during the administration of President Olusegun Obasanjo. There have been many reactions by many Nigerians.
And those who argue there was a safety problem. There was the jet that is being replaced was since the Obasanjo government, the one that was purchased. You mean Obasanjo's new craft that that is now 19 years old? Yeah. Because let's not speak in general terms. Yeah. So that craft is a 19-year-old craft, and it was a new craft. I think it was a B737 craft. Okay? Now, in everything that we have heard justifying the basis for a new craft, and
with some outrage after a new plane was brought for President Tinubu at a time when the economy is experiencing its worst crisis in a generation. Its purchase comes less than 2 weeks after thousands took to the streets across the country to protest at rising hunger and the cost of living. Elected last year to lead Africa's most populous country, Mr. Tinubu has introduced several economic reforms, including the removal of fuel subsidies, which have contributed to high inflation, currently over 30%. President Tinubu said the reforms were necessary to cut government spending and stimulate long-term growth. Well, in January, the Nigerian president announced a 60% reduction in the size of official travel delegations, including his own entourage. But with the coming of the new A330-200, which has become the latest addition to the presidential fleet, which has been there for more than 5 years.
I'm absolutely upset that these fellows would dare to play with the intelligence of the Nigerian public.
This has been the cause of outrage as currently. So some of the people reacting said, social media, someone said, and I quote from at FDM Land said, it wasn't nice. It wasn't right that Nigerians were being told to undergo economic pain while the government was buying a new plane for the president. So, despite the Tinubu-led government telling Nigerians to bear the economic hardship and wait for a better tomorrow, they were busy paying cash for a new private jet to add to the presidential fleet that has over 6 aircrafts already. Another Twitter user says, let's tell ourselves the truth. Tinubu's new Airbus presidential aircraft purchase for 115 billion naira at a time of penury, hunger, and want shows how wicked, selfish, self-indulgent, and insensitive to the plight of the average Nigerians he really is. However, the opposition to the government have been raising hands of concerns as well, with Peter Obi telling Tinubu that he should tell Nigerians the cost lifespan of hold new presidential jails. The presidential candidate of Labour Party in the last general election, Mr. Peter Obi, has asked President Bola Tinubu to tell Nigerians the cost and lifespan of both the old and new presidential jets in the presidential fleet in Abuja. He said that the Nigerians also deserve to know how the old presidential jets were being disposed, how many of them, how old they are, and why had they been sold. The former Anambra State governor also sought to know the exact cost of the new presidential jet and its age, stressing that transparency and accountability should be the hallmark of any genuine leadership. Mr. Obi added that from all indications, despite all the denials and back and forth over the newly acquired presidential aircraft, the jet is now here thanks to the French court that helped Nigerians to get the information.
Of a government that has this level of biting hunger in the land, this level of poverty, where its people are dropping into poverty per minute, would consider the purchase of a befitting aircraft for the president, the construction of a 20 billion naira home for the vice president, the purchase of all kinds of funny-looking cars and the fleet of the National Assembly members and the executive. What exactly is that?
Development has said that Chinese investors have snatched another $57 million private jet belonging to Nigeria that is kept in Canada after seizure from fugitive Dan ATT. A Chinese firm on the confiscation blitz of Nigerian assets has finalized repossession of a luxury jet owned by the West African country in Canada. Zhongzhang Industrial Investment Limited recently received a change of custodian paperwork for the Bombardier 6000 type BD 7001A10 aircraft from Canadian authorities in Montreal. The sources said months after a Canadian court issued a judgment that empowered Zhongzhang to seize the jet from Nigeria. The statement said, and I quote, "The court granted orders for Zhongzhang to seize the plane earlier this year, but the change of custody from Nigeria to Zhongzhang was only necessarily concluded." According to the source, Zhongzhang will not stop seizing Nigerian assets worldwide until the last cent of the arbitration award has been paid. Meanwhile, a Chinese firm has seized Nigerians' guest houses in London and has set to list them for $2.2 million on eBay. Zhongzhang Fueng Industrial Investment Limited, the Chinese firm involved in legal face-off with Nigeria over alleged contract breach by Ogun State government, has concluded plans to list two residential structures in Liverpool in London. It seized from the country for sale on global online marketplace eBay. They appear hell-bent on recovering their money from their business counterpart in Nigeria as it races to recover up to $17 million in arbitration awards. Zhongzhang Fueng took possession of two buildings linked to the Nigerian government in Liverpool, United Kingdom, in June 2024, years after Nigeria failed to reach an agreement over an arbitration judgment handed down in 2021. The properties at 15 Agobert Hall Road, Liverpool, and Beach Lodge, number 49, Cardlestone Road, Liverpool, both in central London, were targeted after December 2021 British court order gave Zhongzhang executive the authority to confiscate Nigerian assets in the UK to recover the $70 million payment, which remained outstanding as of August 2024, with 2% monthly interest accruals. The firm was awarded $55 million plus interest rate of $9.4 million and cost of £2.9 million as of the date of the arbitration in 2021.
And I speak with a lot of moral authority. I served this country. They want everything about what I earned, they can find it in their folder. My Pamsec, Abokizawa, will tell you until tomorrow that I did not touch a dime. So when people say all these things, were you not in government? I was in a sane government. I wasn't in a government that watches women screaming, Ebin Kwawa, we're hungry, we haven't eaten. People used to do 0, 0 something or 0, 1, 1. Today, families write and say, our children haven't eaten in the last 3 days because we just cannot afford the prices in the market. When inflation is at 40%, it erodes the poor. It literally, look, central banks exist to manage inflation.
Well, the root cause of this has been very ongoing in the media. According to court documents, 2 Zhongshan executives were expelled from Nigeria between mid and late 2016, with one of them allegedly detained and tortured by the police. Several European courts have already issued enforcement orders in the UK, Belgium, France, and other countries, allowing Nigerian-owned jets and other assets to be tracked and seized. Meanwhile, an appellate panel in the United States recently declined to extend sovereign immunity protection to Nigeria, facilitating Zhongshan's continued efforts to recover the $70 million hold. A consultant working with Zhongshan said the company has been working to put the 2 Liverpool houses up for sale, including on eBay, where the source said up to $2.2 million will be asked for both. The company is also reportedly preparing to claim Nigeria's $20 million P&ID award in the UK. That's what we have for you on the state of the nation. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video, and we hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.
And if the fates perhaps we're looking for one of a kind, the cultural exhibitions around the world, all traveled and places. Stay tuned to my channel, KB Jojo Newsbox, where I intend to give you every vital information, updates, interesting places, places of interest, tourism, and about people, culture around the world. Stay tuned on this channel. We promise to give you more. It's Thank you. And if the fates should bless us with a moment of reprieve, we all could stand together in the silence and just breathe. Rejoice for all the happiness, mourn for all the grief. It's all